Hello everyone, this is Secret Lair, and this is my update review. We're going to look at changes to the new heroes and the oh so desired banner statistics. So we're going to start with banner statistics. Here, I did not change the name, it still says Rainbow's End. Well, that should be Mad Scientist. We have 4 warriors, 5 mages, and 3 rangers. And so what this means is you have a highly likely chance to pull a mage from this banner, which is good because the main hero is a mage. And then we look at the heroic summon, the regular banner, and you see 38.7% chance for warriors, 35% chance for mages, and 25.8% chance for rangers. So, the weird thing is that Brunhild has not been added to the heroic summoning pool yet. So that means that you have a greater uh, you should have a greater chance to pull warriors. You still do, but you should have an even greater chance to pull warriors from the heroic summon banner compared to the mad scientist banner. Mages, you have less of a chance on the heroic summon banner than the mad scientist banner. And then lastly, rangers, you have a slight increase, but it's basically the same no matter what banner you pull from. You're going to have the same chance when you get an S hero that they're going to be a ranger. So, statistics on the banners hasn't changed too horribly much. The heroic summon hasn't changed since the Brunhild banner, since Brunhild hasn't been added to the heroic summon. I don't know if that's an oversight. Maybe if William or Michael watch this video, they'll correct it. We'll see. Um, and yeah, so changes to heroes. Arachne, as expected, they have some nerfs for her. So corrosive touch, they reduced the ticks per second from 3 to 2. So she does 2 ticks per second. The duration is lowered from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. So, and then Widowmaker, charges required, they up the charges, so she now requires 6 charges. The charges required, I don't think it doesn't change her too horribly much. But the corrosive touch definitely is a pretty hefty nerf. But it's not big enough to take her out of the meta, period. So, Hou Yi, Puncturing Strike, upped from 60% to 65% damage. I believe that's the damage it does to the next person that it hits. And then Meteor Strike, speed increased by 10%. I don't even remember what Meteor Strike is. I think that's his active skill, so it's faster, which is good. So Hou Yi got a nice little buff. I don't think it's enough to make him. I mean, he's very useful. He's probably the second best archer right now, but I don't think he's like amazing. Um, Alpha's still like the best, and why? Because she's a debuffer. Period. You want debuffers, and she is the only ranger debuffer. So and that's what makes her great, because you get 15% extra damage taken. It was reduced to 10%. It's still 10%, so she's still a really good ranger. And duration went from 3 seconds to 3.5 seconds. So her frostbite lasts longer, but not by much. Overall, like this nerf, it doesn't change anything. She's still a debuffer, so she's still the highly desired. I don't know why they decided to touch her. I felt like she was decently balanced, although still strong. The fact that she's a debuffer is always going to make her highly desired. So until you give another ranger debuffer skills, she's only ranger debuffer. Um, Come up with a new ranger. We thought there was going to be a ranger with this update, but we got a mage. Easter Bunny. So Easter Bunny got a speedy metabolism, damage at full health goes from 150% to 175%. With the current meta, that's basically it's a pointless buff. It's good for dungeons. That's it. Every other part of the game, bosses, Easter Bunny's not going to be at full health because it's going to just kill. Easter Bunny's just going to kill themselves on the boss most of the time, or the boss is going to do some kind of damage that's going to get rid of the shield and damage Easter Bunny just a little bit. There's so much damage over time, AoE damage over time, going on in the meta right now that Easter Bunny's going to end up getting damaged. Period. So Easter Bunny's not going to be at full health to take advantage of speedy metabolism. So it's kind of pointless, given the meta. Aphrodite, Infatuation, stun duration has been increased to 2 seconds. So, I think it's a buff. I don't remember her stunning anyone though. I guess she does stun. Yeah, you're right. She does stun. She does stun. So she got a slight buff. I don't think it does much. She's still a pretty highly used character. Artemis's piercing shot goes from 10 charges to 8. And missile hitbox was enlarged again on the client side. I mean, Artemis isn't going to be used. Artemis depends on you having a lot of rangers, and the ability for a normal player to have a lot of ranger gear for Artemis to be powered up, it's just not going to happen. And then Lupine got a buff of Primal Vitality from 3.5% health regen to 4%. No one uses Lupine. Like, we all use, tank-wise, we use the new tanks, Lucky, Brynhild, and then of the classic ones we use Leo and Heim. I don't think this is going to make Lupin used more. Overall, I think most of these updates, yeah, there's some nerfs, but again, they're never enough. This isn't going to change the meta. It's not a big, huge balance update. It's just there. It would be nice to see them. So I'm going to use the please like and subscribe section to talk about what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a big, huge balance update that would really shake things up in the meta, where, they add a bunch of passive skills. I mean, the developer has an opportunity to make it even unique in how you get new passive skills for the older units. They could make it so they release another dungeon and you have to farm that dungeon to have a % chance of getting the passive skill, unlocking the passive skill for a certain hero. You got to use a certain hero for a certain amount of time to unlock a passive skill. I mean, there's a lot of directions they could take. Overall, I'm going to stay with the game, but there's a lot of stagnation in the game's development. They've been focusing a lot on Crusades, which a lot of us like Crusades, but it's a very different game mode and game style than the core auto battle game. And it doesn't feel like it feels like it should be its own game, which is weird that they didn't just make it its own game. So something for the developers to think about. But overall, this update, there's no big changes. So I hope you liked this video, and please subscribe. It's not very useful, it's just telling you like what's new. So I just do it just so those people who don't know to look in the Discord can look here. And then you get my opinions. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good one. Bye.